these girls last night that one of them followed me on here, so she'll probably see this, and I'll try to get her social to tag her. We was all talking about in the car, and we all came to this conclusion that UK African men are fucking sassy. You bitches are sassy as fuck. Y'all are mean as fuck. All of y'all have the fucking Regina George effect. Like, I literally went to an event, like a DTL event or whatever, at Bloom Bar last night, and just to steal the same vibe, like even how y'all treat women in the club or something like that, y'all are rude. I don't know if y'all think it come off, and like, fine, you don't like me, great, love it, but like multiple women have had this interaction with specifically UK, Africa, or like Ghanaian, Nigerian men from the UK. Y'all need to like bring it down a couple fucking notches. Not your confidence, your fucking attitude. Like, y'all are rude. And I know, no, I don't even know who that's attracted to. Like, not even the UK women, because they talk about y'all like a dog. So I know it's not them that y'all are trying to impress. But it's not coming off.
Hey guys, and welcome to Little Black Book 91. I'm going to play that video once more again in a second or two, but we're going to talk about this little topic. You know what? It's been interesting because I was actually watching a video just recently and I'm going to play it as well. I watched a video on YouTube by Daily Wrap Up Crew, and the video was titled, "Is there a rise in sassy behavior in men?" And it brought me back to that particular video that I watched a few months ago when I was in Ghana, and this video came up. There was, I think she's from Toronto, from Canada or America. I'm not sure which one it is. And she was describing about how, UK black males, and it's not just UK black males, because I was on, like I said, I was on Daily Wrap Up Crew, and they're from America, and they were talking about sassy men in general. So, it was interesting to hear the breakdown from this young lady in terms of her thought process, because I think whenever we tackle these issues, I always feel like, again, you know me, I like the word some rather than all, but I get tired of this because I say to myself, I got tired. Knowing that I got tired. In fact, I got annoyed at this one, and I said, "Isn't it interesting how this particular video?" Because her actual context of this video was her coming from a place of, she said, "Oh, fine, you men might not like me, but you have to be as mean." And I'm like, so you know how it feels then? Y'all know how, so you know how it feels. Like, these men that are being sassy, whatever you want to call it as, I don't know what they call it as, whatever they're doing, right? But your context of it is that they didn't like you. They didn't want you. And I said, do you know what? That funny thing is, that's what men have been complaining about, quote unquote, some men have been complaining about when it comes to black women. Attitude. Do you see? And I said, like, if we just get to a place where we start to actually talk, listen, and actually understand one another, you'll realize both parties are saying the exact same thing. Both parties are complaining about the exact same thing from each individual person. Like, do you know what I mean? From each side. It's annoying. And that's why I said it's annoying when people don't say some. It's annoying when people say UK black people or American black men or people. It gets annoying. And me specifically as a man, it gets annoying. It's tiring after a while. You know what I mean? But I understand it. And so I wanted to tackle this particular topic. I wanted to tackle it. Because I thought it was a good topic to talk about. I thought it was a really good topic to break down. So we go and get into it. I'm gonna play that video again one more time so you can just watch it. If you just arrived on the scene, let's talk a little bit about it. Let's go.
I met these girls last night that one of them followed me on here, so she'll probably see this, and I'll try to get her social to tag her. But we was all talking about in the car, and we all came to this conclusion that UK African men are fucking sassy. You bitches are sassy as fuck. Y'all are mean as fuck. All of y'all have the fucking Regina George effect. Like, I literally went to an event, like a DTL event or whatever, at Bloom Bar last night, and just to steal the same vibe, like even how y'all treat women in the club or something like that, y'all are rude. I don't know if y'all think it come off, and like, fine, you don't like me, great, love it, but like multiple women have had this interaction with specifically UK, Africa, or like Ghanaian, Nigerian men from the UK. Y'all need to like bring it down a couple fucking notches. Not your confidence, your fucking attitude. Like, y'all are rude. And I know, no, I don't even know who that's attracted to. Like, not even the UK women, because they talk about y'all like a dog. So I know it's not them that y'all are trying to impress. But it's not coming off.
Now, I played the video again because there's a few things in here which are really, really interesting, right? And she's having the same problem that I think some men or some women, they have when they experience the opposite gender, which is the generalization. I remember when this video came out and I spoke to my friend about it, and I asked her, what's sassy? Because the word even sassy we're taking an urban definition, because it's not, the real word sassy does not have a negative connotation. So the real word sassy doesn't have a negative connotation. But if we're taking it from the urban dictionary in terms of how we understand sassy, um, what is it? Tell me an example of what you mean by sassy. And obviously, her example that she gave there was about how the men are being mean, right? And of course, that was also my friend's example as well. Like, the men are not friendly, then they're mean, they're this and that. And I said, do you know what's interesting? That some men are saying the exact same thing about you. Some men are saying the exact same thing about you. The way you screw your face, the way you kiss your teeth, the way that you aren't really open to conversation, the way that you insult other black men, the way that you aren't approachable. They say the exact same thing about you. And then what happens? You blow them up and say, well, it's because black men are this X, Y, Z. And what happened when this particular video dropped, is that the men also came back and said, the reason why we're like this is because of the black women. And the black woman saying, how can it be our fault? How can it be our fault? It's not us. And it's like, no. Since we said the exact same thing about you, and we say your attitude's off, you're unapproachable, you don't talk, we can't be friendly with you, etc., right? It's because of you. It's because you're like that, because we're like that because of you. And I said, yeah, both parties here with unaccountability. The issue is there are some on both sides that are horrible. This is the reality of things. The very event she's talking about, I was there. She's talking about a DLT event that happened in Ghana, Accra, when I was there. I was actually there. And I'll be honest with you. Okay, I'll be honest with you. British black is very interesting, right? UK black is very interesting. We are very standoffish, very conservative, right? We are a bit more, I would say we're less loose than our counterparts, those of us who are in America. I would say, when it comes to, and maybe the Americans would also say that maybe there's a bit more conservative there as well, depending where you are. But when the Americans come to town in Ghana, I find personally, maybe because I'm coming from a UK perspective, that the UK people are a bit stiff. We're a bit more conservative, right, when it comes to these kind of things. So those who are American and Canadian, they tend to have a bit more freedom in the way they behave, right? So it's quite interesting to have that mix. And that particular event she's talking about, there was two, because there was that one, and then they had an American versus US experience that day, where there was Americans and UK people, and it was a really good vibe. But what you do notice, especially, and this is me personally noticing it, and I even complained about it myself. I was like, what I did notice about those of us who are UK black coming into Ghana is, blood, this is the time that we come, and then this is the time they don't party. This is the time when they come and they take seats and VIP areas and just stand there and watch other people do things. And it's like, whoa, like, okay. Whoa, okay, so y'all just gonna come over from UK and just gonna just chill and just vibe and not even vibe, just chill where you are. You're not gonna get involved. All right. Laughable said, Laughable. You know what I mean? So there is some aspect of truth to that in terms of the UK black. That's not just men, that's women. So when they're talking about being sassy, no, darling, we are all sassy then. It's not just the men, we're all sassy, and we're all bouge, and we're all conservative, because it's a UK thing. It's not a man thing, I'll be honest with you. It's not a man thing. We're all like that. Unapproachable, unfriendly sometimes, very conservative, stush face, you know what I mean? Uppity sometimes. It comes from our culture that way. We talk about, last time I spoke about Americans and said about, that they have a reputation of being arrogant and up themselves. Well, British people have a very reputation of being very astute, very stiff upper lip, and we carry some of that. You know what I mean? Can be judgmental at points in times and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? So we all have that issue, right? But that's what I said about some. That's what I said about some. This comes back to the some, and not being a generalization for all. There is some of them who are like this. But there was an interesting conversation, But I wanted to break down her particular comments, because I think there's something in this that I want to address for both men and women, right? But it's her speaking, but I want to address it for both men and women. And why I find it frustrating for both men and women, because both do something which is really annoying, which is not only do they generalize and they add certain words which I call fighting words, which is just going to create more drama. But this isn't. Okay. Let's have a look and see what she says. All right, so let's play a little bit there.
I met these girls last night that one of them followed me on here, so she'll probably see this, and I'll try to get her social to tag her. We was all talking about in the car, and we all came to this conclusion that UK African men are fucking sassy. You bitches are sassy as fuck. Y'all are.
Let's pause it there. The first thing that frustrated me about this message is the first thing she actually says is that she calls us you bitches, and I always tell you about this, like, and first and foremost, that's as soon as she started off that way, I stopped listening, really and truly. I wasn't really available for the message anymore, right? And the reason why is because why do you think we're gonna respond to you if your first message is you bitches? Why would I want to listen to somebody who starts off like that? Why would I want to start like that? Tells me about your perspective. Because if I can't, you follow me long enough, guys. If I come on here to address a situation and I address it and talking about black women, and I start off with you bitches, like, whoa, what kind of energy are you carrying? Why are you so angry? And that tells me that you already have a predisposed energy towards that particular group. Your emotions are already way too involved that you're now calling a group a bunch of bitches. So that start of the message, you already started off on a disrespectful note, and this is for me, this is me saying it. If you carrying that energy onto TikTok, you're probably carrying that energy when you're out there. So you calling these men sassy, I'm telling you something, you probably carrying some energy that's giving the sassy, letting them respond to you. You giving out something and they're responding to it. Right? You giving out something and they're responding to it. Because you're not even respectful. You wanna call out black men, specifically UK black men, fine. But let me tell you something. You gonna call us bitches? To start your message off? Come on, baby. Come on, babe. Come on, babe. And that already tells you where she's coming from. And that's what I'm trying to alert people to. That's why we can tell when manosphere get involved that some of them, that some of them when they some of the people that are manosphere, that they have bad energy, because as soon as they start, they're using bees and hoes and this and f this and f, and they're really insulting a particular group already. You already know that. Stop listening to them, because they ain't got nothing but bad energy. You know what I mean? She was addressing a whole demographic with bad energy from the start, right? And it's similar to the manosphere. When they start off with that bad energy, you just stop listening, because it's now you are just trying to insult the people rather than actually saying this is what I actually experienced. So now I'm not listening to experience anymore. I'm listening to you rant, rave, and insult. Right? So let's listen a bit further. Like I said, we can learn something from this.
Mean as fuck. All of y'all have the fucking Regina George effect. Like, I literally went to an event, like a DTL event or whatever, at Bloom Bar last night, and just to steal the same vibe, like even how y'all treat women in the club or something like that, y'all are rude. I don't know if y'all think it come off, and like, fine, you don't like me, great, love it, but
pause. It's interesting too, because in this particular situation now, she says obviously as well, oh, that the reason for the sassy is that we're being rude, and the rudeness is coming when they don't want her. Damn. The rudeness is coming from when they don't want her. So I can kind of understand where she's coming from, right? Because us men talk about this all the time. We hate when you go to approach a girl and the girl is rude to you. It's unacceptable. We feel like it's not inviting, it's not approachable, it's not nice. It ruins your confidence. It can hurt you. Do you know what I mean? So I totally understand where she's coming from. In that respect, I understand where she's coming from. Right? I get it. Sassy? I guess we can call it a sassy if you want to call it that. Some might call it more bougie. Some might call it, some might say, quote unquote, we know our worth. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you might say that, but I understand. I get it. But also the men too are thinking, so if they don't like you, why am I giving you a chance? The same way women are thinking the exact same thing. I don't like you, but if I give you a foothold, you're gonna say, ah. But there's no real, me personally, there's no need for any rudeness. If someone approaches you, you can politely decline. I don't understand the rudeness. So if men are being rude whilst you're approaching them, or whilst you're talking to them, or whilst you're near them, you don't need to be, right? Um, and I remember something that happened, yeah. And I remember the person, and I remember it happened in real time, and it got called sassy. And sometimes I think to myself that it just becomes a way to just try um, to insult men, right? So I remember was when I was out in Ghana. I remember me, my guy, and another guy. We were dancing, right? And these girls got really close to us. These girls got really close to us, right? But we're busting full on moves, like we're proper doing full on moves, all right? You know what I mean? I'm gonna Laughable. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that. Because I was gonna say, why was she approaching in the first place? But thank you for that. I appreciate Love Bodge. So obviously now we were we were dancing whatever, right? Yeah. And me and my boy are doing full of moves. Said there. You know how, like, if you watch my Instagram, you see that we went viral everywhere because we're all doing this dance, right? So we'll do da 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 da, and we're doing our things, right? And these girls got really close, and my guy said to them, "Yo, babe, excuse me, sorry, you're just kind of impeding on our space. If you get any closer, like, I might hit you, and I don't want that to happen, right?" As soon so yeah. As soon as he said, "Can you excuse me?" He said, "Excuse me, can you move out of the way? Just I don't wanna I don't wanna I don't wanna hit you. So, like, just like thingy." And she was like, "Sassy." And I was like, "Oh my days, what the?" I looked at her, obviously it wasn't me that said it, but I was looking at her like, wait, so he's sassy for being respectful to try and say, "Can you move across?" You're now calling him out. I don't, and it's stuff like that. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, it's stuff like that that is so frustrating. And again, they weren't from UK; they were from America. So I'm just going to be honest with you. But hey, I don't want to say too much, right? The UK black queens be also cussing us out as well. So it's not like it's just American black who were saying it to that, right? But it was like, oh, like, again, it's this kind of this need to insult, but and someone said, and it's a good point, AW. The funniest thing is that the way the worst insults to men are feminine traits. Why? Because we don't want to be women. We don't want to be women. So one of the worst cusses you can do is that. It's not the worst. Tell a man he's broke. Tell a man he's got a poor D game. Yeah. Tell him is short. Da da da. That's it. You know what I mean? So yeah, there are worse cusses out there, but we don't like to compare and say that we're being feminine. No, we don't want to be that because we're not. We're just trying to, you know what I mean? So obviously when I saw that, I was like, oh, so this is what they be doing. Okay, I see. So when you get annoyed, that's what you do. Okay. I saw it and we carried on dancing. Shoot, we carried on dancing. I ain't got time for it. You know what I mean? We get like that. Do you know what I mean? So yes. So then obviously, you know, let's play the rest of it and I'll talk about it, what else, etc.
But like, multiple women have had this interaction with specifically UK, Africa, or like Ghanaian, Nigerian men from the UK. Y'all need to like bring it down a couple fucking notches. Not your confidence, your fucking attitude. Like,
So let me give you another example, and this one was much more closer to home. But I was thinking to myself, so this one's close to home. So I had a friend, and I wasn't there for the whole entire time. But I just she told me about the story, and I think a guy was trying to get past or whatever, right? Yeah, or trying to sit down or whatever on the things, right? And you know, obviously, it's tight when you're in Ghana. It's tight. It gets busy. People get in your way. Da, 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 do you know what I'm saying? All of that kind of stuff, right? And my friend was, I think the guy told her like, like, I think he might have been rude. I'm not really sure 100%. Like, he might have said move or whatever, or he might have just moved his chair or whatever. And then she was like sassy, and I was looking at her like, what? I was just looking at like, what, sassy for what? Because, and it's just like, and it just becomes another one of those buzzwords when you're annoyed that it becomes an insult, but it's like it's not an insult, but it's an insult. It's like an underhanded insult by saying someone's sassy. So rather than just saying, look, I didn't like what he did, it just becomes an insult, which is not an insult. It flies underneath the radar. And I find that it's frustrating. It's like, yo, why are we doing that? Do you know what I mean? Why are we actually trying to do that? You know what I mean? So yeah, I was just like, I was like, I'm not really feeling that. You know what I mean? I'm not feeling that too tough, right? But anyway, so yeah, let's listen to what else she said, and then we'll finish up.
Y'all are rude. And I know, no, I don't even know who that's attracted to. Like, not even the UK women, because they talk about y'all like a dog. So I know it's not them that y'all are trying to impress, but it's not coming off.
Well, apparently the UK women are also talking about the UK men, just like the American women, black women are talking about the American black men. Like I told you last time, guys, I told you nobody's satisfied. I told you nobody is. Black men are cussing black women are cussing black men. Whether you UK, whether you US, immediately. Right? So it's so interesting. The grass is seemingly always greener for the other side, they say, but hey, look, my personal thing is like, look, just don't lump us all into there. I don't want to lump all black women into being rude. That's not how my experience has ever been. This is why, and this is also why I don't talk negatively about black women, because again, one example, or even two examples, or even if it's just my examples, that's my experience. There are other people out there that are great. Do you know what I mean? And so for me, I personally, I don't be talking about black women negatively, that, because I think black women are amazing, personally. You know what I mean? Personally. But I can understand why there are grievances on both sides when it comes to each individual party. Now, I want to get to my actual main video. Oh no! Before I get to my main video, let me address Life of Bodge's point, right? Because that was what I want to address. So in that particular video, apparently she was trying to get a table, and that's what I heard, that she got rejected from the table. And that was what I was going to address, because first and foremost, she said about how I get it that you don't like me, but do you have to be mean? And I was like, wait. In what world would a man just start being rude to you because he don't like you? Now, don't get it twisted. They do. But we're out and about. Why was it that the man he didn't like? How did you know he didn't like you? And this is that's what I was trying to think to myself. So when, obviously, I think someone else had brought this up. This is when it first dropped. This is about 2 months ago when it first dropped. I heard a similar thing. Obviously, like, she was trying to get on a table, and it's like, baby, if you're trying to get on a table, yeah, someone might get a bit sassy. I don't. You call it sassy. I call it, listen, boundaries. I call it boundaries. Okay? I call it boundaries. You see what I'm saying? Yeah? If you're trying to get on a table and they're not feeling you, they don't have to give you a room on the table. Like, why people just be thinking it's acceptable. Right? It's not. Right? You're not gonna just get on the table because you're a woman or because you think you're pretty. Yeah, like, bruv, the man them are trying. The man them have a right to say no to it. Do you know what I mean? I remember one time, yeah. I can't tell you. Maybe I was being sassy. I don't give a hex. But I remember when I was in Ghana, and like, yo, we got this table when I was in a particular place. I got this table when I was in this particular place, right? And and the funny thing is, when you're in Ghana, you see people all the time. You understand? So people will be looking at you, people will see you and know you, and maybe they don't want to, they don't know you, but they kind of know you, whatever, right? But like, if I've approached you before, I say that, I want to out nothing, but if I've approached you before, you've denied me, I'm okay with that. But where'd you get the gall? Where'd you get the confidence? Where'd you get the audacity to see me on a table and be like, hey, like, so you can get on the table? What? Listen, I'm telling you, like, women have some audacity. Okay? Some women have the audacity. Like, some do. So it's like you experience some mad things. So if she thought she was gonna get on the table and the guys are like, no, like this is not for you. Like they might have said it in a rude tone. They might have done. I won't lie to you. They might have been like, yo, get the fuck out of here. Like, what you mean? Like, get the fuck out of here. But the fact is that she specifically said UK Africans is quite telling. I'm wondering how she knew that. And what kind of men she had been around, and in what context was she around them? How did she know they were mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what happened? Like, she didn't give us the context of what actually happened as to why she thought they were mean. I was like, yo, that's when I knew that something weren't fully right. You know what I mean? And I want to let you know, listen, look, the reality is, these situations when you're out and about, when the man them get a table and, if they're buying alcohol, okay, if they're buying alcohol, me personally, I don't really buy alcohol. It's not my thing. I don't drink. I've never drunk, so it's not my thing. But if the man them are buying alcohol and they've spent 10 Ghana cities K, 5,010, which is about what, 500 to £1,000 on alcohol, right? The man them are gonna choose the baddest bees they can choose in that place. If you're not the baddest bee, you might not be able to get on the table. Bro, I'm telling you, bro. Telling you, bro. You might not always get a table. So it does happen. Like, do you know what I mean? It's unfortunate, but that's the market, in it. Do you know what I mean? All of that happens in our UK sisters sold it. They did. The UK sisters sold us out though, bro. The UK sisters sold us out. They've been selling us out, bro. They've been selling us out. That's why even see, let me show you something. Let me show you something. I want to show you something, right? I want to show you something. And this is for black women. I want you to pay attention to this. You know how we talk about how black men talk about black women and it allows other races to actually talk about us, right? I want to, and this is for black men too. I want you to pay attention. So black men specifically, because we're often the perpetrators of this. I want to be honest with you, right? But today it's the black women, right? But I want to pay attention to something. Black men, if you're listening to this, please pay attention to this. Those of you who talk negatively all the time, she has heard from our black sisters and now has energy and gumption to open up her mouth to insult us and at the end say, your woman don't even want you anyway. Do you know why she has that strength and that goal to do that? It's because just like the women have been saying, I'll agree with the women on this, right? When black men start talking completely negatively in public spaces about black women in a particular way, it allows other parties to join in. Because look what's happened. The UK black scene, and I'm not saying all, but the UK black scene in terms of women have been talking negatively about black men, some black UK men. Look what's happened now. We've got an American now talking trash about us because we opened the door. So when we do too much, it opens the door for other parties to also trash. Gotta be very careful how we do. You know what I'm saying? So that's a lesson to both sides. Like, be careful how you speak about the other party. We're not trying to trash or, destroy. We've got to be very careful how we talk about the opposite gender, especially within our black community, because other people watch and then they begin to then obviously have their own commentary. And sometimes their commentary is not even real. They're just copying points that we've already said. But I think this was a good point because she literally jumped in there and gave us heat based upon what our UK sisters had said. Heat, Bro, this is it. It's in gist, but when generalized statements about your counterparts of other groups, now an American is using it against us. So we have to also take this as a lesson. I'm talking about us as black males, specifically, who are, if we're talking about our particular scene, we've got to be very careful what we do say. We have to police that very well so that it doesn't become an open field for other people to do that, because that's how you get other races now talking about us in a particular way. It's because they see us talking about ourselves in a particular way. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that we can't talk about it. I'm saying that there has to be a way that we do go about it. You know what I mean? Okay, so let me go to my American video because that's the only reason why I did this, because I saw an American. Oh yeah, I heard about the sweater. Yeah, I saw someone talk about it. I didn't give a hoots. It's a sweater. It's a sweater. Yeah, it's a sweater. So I didn't have a problem. They can cry if they want to. I don't care. It's a sweater. It's not a t-shirt. It's a sweater. I put it on top of a t-shirt. You know, if I wear a t-shirt, I put it on top of the t-shirt. People will cry about anything on here. I'll keep my sweater on. I might even wear it for a year. Shoot. It's so okay. No, I'm not gonna cry about it. Anyway, back to my actual video I wanted to bring to you guys, because there was a conversation on Daily Wrap Up Crew. Really great conversation as well. Again, as always, love Daily Wrap Up Crew. They always be bringing the right things ahead as well. I love it. But they were talking about this UK, this not UK, but talking about sassy men. It wasn't just in UK. Apparently, the American men are also sassy. So if you thought you were free, y'all included as well. If you thought you were free, it's not free. They also talking about you American black men too. So we're all sassy apparently.
Zodiac.
But it's valid.
So is he coming out of nowhere with this attitude, or is he being provoked to have an attitude?
They just be catching feelings over everything. No one got time for that.
Okay.
It's very sensitive. It's giving very sensitive.
So if it's annoying to y'all, how do you think men feel when we receiving it? Like,
but as a man, you shouldn't have an attitude. Like women.
So we should just accept it because y'all should have an attitude.
No, it's like you know that women are gonna have like attitudes. It comes with the pack.
It's an unfortunate double standard.
It's just like our like it's just how it is. It's how like our chemical makeup. Like we have attitudes. It's a hormonal thing. But like
for y'all,
no, the sassy man agenda is definitely on the rise though. Like for sure.
It's an agenda.
I think, what if they just teaching y'all?
Yeah, this one's definitely an issue. This one there is really an issue. Yeah, this one was wild because they were talking about obviously men have an attitude, and I found that quite interesting. Don't worry, I'll put the video back on, but I found it quite interesting because having an attitude, and you know what, this is partly men's fault too. And when I say men, I'm talking about the systematic structure of patriarchy, which doesn't help us. And I'll be honest with you, I know people don't like to hear it, but I'll break it down as to why it becomes a patriarchal issue. And it's because within the patriarchal structure, there's a way of being stoic, where we bred the idea of stoicism. And that within stoicism, okay, within stoicism, there's an idea that you don't necessarily show emotion too much. And then what this does is it then ingrains the idea in men that they can't show emotion, and when they do show emotion, it's only anger, or deep sorrow and sadness when someone passes away or something, and that you can't have a range of emotions. And maybe happiness when you pass your driving test, or you get money, or whatever, right? Then you get that particular aspect, right? But there's no range of emotion, right? You can't have an off day in your emotions. You can't be frustrated today because you're catching an attitude, right? You can't show those aspects because you've got to be a man. Right, but that's born and bred out of the patriarchal system we have, number one. But number two, also as well, then we perpetuate that by continuing that thought process by saying that's our masculinity. And then what happens is women then buy into that particular aspect of, I call it toxic masculinity. They buy into it, and then they reinforce it by then saying, obviously, well, you know what, y'all have becoming sassy, and then we then get frustrated because they're now telling us about this toxic masculinity. We get hurt by that, and then we get annoyed as well in turn. So actually, it's really a vicious cycle that both parties are part of, but it is a vicious cycle because I'm going to have off days. I'm going to catch an attitude today, tomorrow, or whenever I'm going to do. I'm not always going to be perfect. Do you understand? I'm not always going to be able to contain my emotions in a particular way. You know what I mean? I'm gonna sometimes fail on that. I might show my emotions, whatever, right? But then I'm saying that, but obviously then the other aspect of sassy is attitude or being mean in a sense, right? That's completely different. See, I don't like the word sassy as being approached as mean. You know, I'd rather a different word like vicious or you know, just the word mean. You know what I mean? Rather than saying someone is sassy, which is basically not even dictionary definition of somebody being that way. But um, yeah. So I want to see if I can even find a definition of sassy. It's because even again, these definitions don't support our definition of sassy. Like we've added our own kind of thing. Anyway, okay. I wanted to find it, but I couldn't find one in there. Someone said, how you communicate said emotions will dictate if one will ascribe the sassy label. For instance, I have a father who expresses a range of emotions, yet has never come across as sassy. That's fair. That's fair. You know, obviously how you describe those emotions. Yeah, one could say that. Again, can we, and maybe ladies, you can help us. Give us some definitions of sassy. You know, a feminine. I like that. I think you're missing it, babe. When we mean there's a feminine undertone to the display of attitude. Give me an example of what you mean. Give me an example of what you mean. You know, give me an example. Maybe someone can give a sample. You know, Katie, you're spot on, and that's why I said about this whole we are both to blame. But I said starts off with patriarchy, which starts off with men. It is part of that. That is it. Because a lot of women are not comfortable also with their own femininity because of how society has also conditioned them. So when we don't allow women to have their aspect of being in their emotions, and then we get into our emotions, then there's an issue. Do you understand what I'm saying? Then it becomes an issue because you've repressed your emotion, and now I'm getting to show the emotion that you should have been showing. Of course, you're gonna feel like some type of way. So I do understand that. You know, yeah, I can understand that particular aspect. So that's a really good point, Katie. They want to be flued out too. Okay. They want to be flew out too. So men want you to fly them out. That's sassy. Okay. Is it the fact that they use the word flew out? Or is it the fact they want to be flown out in general? Just want to make sure that's clear. Is it the word flew out? The terminology flew out? Or is this a fact that they do this in general? Because, man, them have been getting girls to pay for flights for a very long time. In fact, let me be honest with you. I remember one time, let me not say too tough. One time, I remember I went on holiday, wasn't paid by me. Was not paid by me. Wasn't paid by my girl either. Thank God for that girl that paid for it, though. Yeah, sir. So is it the fact that obviously somebody paid for the flight, or is it the fact that they're asking for this particular thing? That's what I want to ask the question in the chat. So let's ask that question. Maybe you guys get back to me.
Let's like this is how we feel when y'all like that. So how y'all feel about this? You know?
It's not giving that.
It's not giving lesson.
It's not giving lesson?
No.
Why not?
It's giving sassy man apocalypse.
Yo, but I heard when we was on the live last night, Shorty went from bitch ass niggas to sassy. I think it's just a cover up for bitch ass nigga. Like they call you a bitch ass nigga on the low.
No, I think being a sassy nigga is way worse than being a bitch ass nigga.
For
sure.
I think I feel worse if somebody call you a bitch ass nigga.
Nah,
I'm not accepting either. But I want to know what it can't just be an attitude, because what I'm hearing is that men don't have the right to be upset about anything a woman does.
Wrong.
You know what I'm saying? That's what y'all basically explained.
It's
so
giving attitude. It's giving petty.
it's giving immature. It's just like a bunch of stuff. It's just sassy. Like, just stop. Like,
Yes.
So how should we act? What would make us unsassy?
on the sass,
Logic.
Well-
I feel like for women, it's like, you know that women are more driven by emotion than logic sometimes. Sometimes. I'm not saying all across the board.
I want to ask this question, ladies. Do you agree? Ladies are driven more by emotions. You agree with that? I'm just wondering. Do you agree with that? Shez said, "Not going tit for tat. The language, more emotion, and a lack of knowledge. Immature." So, are we saying that women are immature? Those of you who are sassy, are you saying you're immature? No. We have to label it. Are you saying women that are sassy are immature? I want to go with the logic that you've presented. I'm inclined to agree, but then it would mean that you're saying women are immature. So I'm inclined to agree. So are we saying that? Are we saying that? Or is it we expect that men should have a higher bar and standard? I'm asking. Are women who are sassy immature then? So we're saying that a lot of women are immature. Those of you who do for tit for tat, there's loads of you who do tit for tat, whose language is inappropriate. You're too much emotional. You're lacking logic. Would you say you're immature? I'll wait. This is interesting. No, sassy actually is to do for women. Actually, dictionary wise, it is to do for women. Actually, it's often ascribed to being women. Dictionary wise, I'm just saying dictionary wise. But then I'm not sure about the Urban Dictionary. It might be different. But being sassy oftentimes is ascribed to being as quote unquote, if you want to call it feminine, or ascribed to women. But if you're talking about the original purpose, but the definition of sassy is someone that is lively, bold, little feisty. An example of sassy is a quick-witted, clever girl. Bold, spirited, cheeky, lively, vigorous, saucy, impudent. It's not to do with men. So when you do call someone sassy, so are we saying that when women are sassy, they're immature? That's a question I'm asking. So we need the men not to be sassy because they should be mature. Okay. I'm hearing you lot. I like it.
Logic, no. Emotion, yes.
No,
Logic,
that's what I said.
No,
women are more driven by emotion than logic.
Oh,
For
then
men,
logic. Okay,
yeah.
I said and
No.
logic. Okay.
For men, it's opposite. Men are supposed to be more logical, more strategic, more.
Which is why I said this
solution-
might be a lesson.
No, but it's
Yeah,
not
nah,
giving
I don't know
lesson.
about no
It's
lesson.
not giving lesson. It's that men have just turned a new leaf, and
I think it's very contradictory because women have expressed that they want men to embrace their emotions and this, that. And then when men are starting to do it, now it becomes sassy behavior and you're acting this way and that. So, but when men are stoic and don't show emotions, then they become emotionally unavailable. So it's kind of like, damn, we damned if we do, damned if we don't.
Look, I feel like I have a different look on the sassy. Like, I feel like from things that I have seen, like with my friends and stuff, they've dealt with niggas where it's just like, oh, what could you do for me? I feel like that's like sassy.
The nigga say, what can you do for me?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's
sassy.
Yeah,
That's not
I
sassy.
think so, because he'll be like, oh, why should I buy you something? What are you buying?
Sounds
Like
reasonable.
That's fair.
no, I don't know.
So
I think-
because of this
No,
fear, it's
No,
so she had a-
she would do.
Let's ask the audience now, ladies in the chat, man, them in the chat. Is it sassy when a man says, when you say, oh, you know, you want, like, let's say you say, you know, I want a Birkin, and he's like, well, what are you doing for me? What are you buying for me? Is that sassy? I don't know. Is that sassy? When you know, like when they say, you know, she wants you. I'm not saying the Birkin's not the thing. Like, oh, buy me a handbag, and he's like, well, what you gonna buy me? Like, is that sassy as well? Is that sassy? Is that sassy? Haitian Empress said that's bro talk. All right. Coolly.
Stuff for him, but I feel like he wanted more, and I feel like I've never seen a guy compare. Like, I don't know, go be with a man then if you feel like you're doing so much.
So I gotta be
That's
with a
sassy.
man
Yeah, I feel
because
like
because I want
no,
more
why
for my
are you
woman.
comparing what you could do for her?
Because men are.
Obviously, you could do more.
Is he comparing what he could do,
Why is that a
or was he
problem?
doing more? Is he doing more?
Yeah, but don't most
Why is that
men
a problem?
No.
That's
no.
what.
I don't know.
Yo,
Okay, so
We shouldn't have to settle for less, and I think a lot of women are
Then
being.
don't be with me.
And that's why we about to cut you the fuck off because you
Deuces,
you know what I'm saying?
nigga,
You gotta understand that we want to. You guys talk about all this independent shit, right?
Y'all chase
And
and pursue though. So why come after something like
Okay,
go be with what you feel like
if
meets
all
your.
you're offering is pussy, because that's what we're
Who
pursuing
said
in the
it's
beginning.
just pussy?
Look, that's what
Damn.
because that's what we're pursuing in the beginning,
pussy
right?
and socks.
You know what I'm saying? That's all.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie to you, yeah. I ain't gonna lie to you, yeah. This is really interesting, right? Because you know, this is really interesting because yes, Jay, that was the question. That is actually what's being spoken about. It's actually reciprocation. So what's being spoken about in relational terms? I'm in a relationship with you. Her expectation is that you buy. I don't have to do as much as you do. But this is not that's not reciprocation. But it is an idea though. So the idea obviously of the man being the provider and he does all that kind of stuff and she receives, right? So but I think in this particular aspect, you know, I think the guy asking potentially, is there reciprocation in the relationship? And I've asked Haitian princess, Empress, we spoke about this before. I've told you about this. I spoke about this before, right? Of course, I'm not gonna ask anybody what you're gonna buy for me. Like if I buy you something, I'm not gonna ask you to buy something. That's never gonna be my thing. But I will ask you, what is your like? I will, not in a relationship, but like I'm expecting somebody who also is of servitude. If I serve, I'm also expecting somebody else who serves, because what will happen is I'm going to get tired serving if I don't get any service back, and vice versa. If she's always serving me and I don't get and I don't serve her back, she gonna get tired. So no, I'm not going to say what you're going to do for me, but I'm saying to you, that is why you find people who also have the attitude of servitude. I don't have time for people who don't know how to serve. I don't have time. I'm not your dad. I'm not trying to be anybody's dad. I don't like that role. I want a person who understands servitude, that when I serve, you serve. That doesn't mean when I buy today, you buy today. Like, it doesn't mean like that. What it means though is you understand what servitude actually is, and that you have a heart to serve the other person. That your mindset is, I put the other person first. You know what I mean? And I think that's really key. Yeah, I personally wouldn't be saying what you're gonna do for me kind of particular way, but I will ask, like I want to understand people's mindsets. Before even dating, I'll probably ask those kind of questions like, what's your mindset in this aspect? Because some people are hella greedy and hella people are hella selfish. And some of you just want dads, I'll be honest with you. And some of you just want mums. This is the reality. Some of the men just want mums and some of the women just want dads. And then you class it as these niggas don't want, these niggas ain't nothing. Really, you want a dad, you don't want a partner. And some of the men just want a mum. They don't want a partner, they want a mum. And that's frustrating. You know what I mean? And so sometimes, just so that obviously people understand, you do have to kind of find out what someone's mindset is, because both men and women can assume that their way of thinking is normal. You know what I mean? Like it's normal. No, find somebody who knows how to serve, and you know what I mean. Find someone who knows how to serve as well, that understands. You know what I mean. Like I said, like you and I say this straight. I say as well. Depending on what kind of relationship, because again, someone might call a man sassy, right? So, for instance, like when Corvea was saying for Ready to Love, she wants a woman to spoil her. If a man says, I want my woman to spoil me too," you are gonna get on that man. You're gonna call that man sassy. The reality is, it's not necessarily the word spoil, but spoil is an issue anyway. I don't like the word spoil, but would you spend on me too, or is that sassy? Now we're asking about mindset. Will you spend on me too? Or are you expecting me just to spend on you? That's not reciprocation that I require. There are men who like that, though. There are men out there who like to do that. That's not a problem. The rest of us are not sassy for not wanting to do that. But there are men out there that, listen, by all means, he will always spend on you and he never asks anything back, because that's not the kind of relationship he requires. And that's fine. That's absolutely fine. But the rest of us, we also want to be validated. We also want to be spoken nice words over. We also want to be bought gifts. You know what I'm saying? We also want to be taken care of in a different kind of way, not necessarily in the same way. Like, oh my god, like, but you know what I mean? Like, they just made a joke right there, which is actually not a joke, because it happens to a lot of men, where women buy socks for your birthday or Christmas, and you spend so much money on them, and they don't spend nothing back on you. That's the reciprocation we're talking about. But someone might go, well, you're being sassy. You expect a woman to spend money on you? It's like, no. What we're asking for is reciprocation. Reciprocation. That's what we're asking for. Right? So, I think it's the way that it's communicated, first and foremost. I also about delivery. How it's delivered is very important. Very, very important about how we do it. And very, very important about how you communicate that, across to your partner or to someone that you like. It's very, very important. Yeah. So yeah. Shut. No, I didn't say you're not supposed to spend on them, Lude. I said, where's the reciprocation? Where's the reciprocation? Right? Where's the reciprocation? That's what we're saying. We're saying, where's the reciprocation? We're not saying necessarily that the men shouldn't spend on women or etc. We're saying there should also be a represent, and the reciprocation is the mindset. It's the mindset. You know what I mean? It's the mindset. You know what I mean? If you never had a mindset to even think about reciprocating, all right, then for some men, not all, because some men are generally like the relationship dynamic where they buy, spend everything. Good on them. I'm not one of those men. Well, at least not yet financially anyway, so maybe not. But in fact, even if I did have money, I would want to see that reciprocation. And I told you guys, like, yo, when you're with me, I don't mind spending on you and making sure you're good. But like I said, I think after my ex, I realized, bro, I'm not gonna settle for less. No way. The way that my ex was at one point trying to take care of me, and I'd even allow her, but the fact she wanted to so much, like, yo, when I was down in the dumps and I had lost my job, this girl wanted to go out and buy. Like, we were literally fighting at the till to pay for the shopping. Like, we actually fought. Like, I actually fought her at the till so I could pay for my own shopping. I was like, nah, I'm paying for this. But she wanted to fight me. And literally, she almost fought me for this thing, right? And I appreciated that. Because that showed me a mindset. It's not that I need you to do it. It's a mindset. Like, she genuinely fought me. So I can't even lie. It was not like oh my God, I took my card out. No, it was genuinely, she actually fought me. You know what I mean? And I saw other instances where she wanted to try and take care of me. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is reciprocation, where you see a mindset coming through. And I'm saying that is a beautiful thing. Now, not every man needs that, because there are some men who are just cool. They don't mind. They will spend everything on you and buy everything for you. And they don't care what you do. You know what I mean? That's fine. if you can find that man, fantastic. You know what I mean? But yeah, you know, that's what we're looking. That's what some of us will be looking for: reciprocation in those ways. So that's what we're saying. Again, we didn't say that you should measure it per se. We're not saying measure it. We're saying again a mindset. Mindset is very important. We have a mindset. We want a mindset. We have a mindset in terms of the way that we deal with certain things. So, a little bit of reciprocation doesn't go far. You know what I mean? That's all. We're not saying anything too aggressive, I don't think, or anything bad like that. I hope not, anyway.
Because after we get that, then we trying to see what else is on the table. What else are you offering me? And then when men are holding women accountable, oh, you're sassy. You get what I'm saying? Like, oh, you need to do this. Or what are you giving me? Oh, you sassy.
So for me, my definition of like a nigga being sassy, it has nothing to do with the whole what do you bring to the table. It has nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with being stoic versus being emotionally unavailable versus being like vocal about your emotions. It's when you cannot. It's the pettiness. It's really it's strictly pettiness. Like for me, I do appreciate when men are vocal about their emotions and like not nonchalant, and they actually like you can tell they can express what's going on with that. I do appreciate that, but it's the pettiness
like
that
bitch fits.
yeah,
What's
it's
the-
the
what's
pettiness.
Give an example of
I
this
could do.
pettiness that you're talking about.
So many.
I have so many. Yeah, like I have so
It shouldn't
many.
be hard then. I'm listening.
That Jeopardy bell.
Oh my gosh, no! Like
Petty would be like if I don't text you for a day, then you don't go texting me for a day, and then like you want to text me like, oh, you can't respond. Like
yes,
what? What
perfect
you
example.
mean?
Yeah,
it's very much okay when you do it. It's a problem when I do it. What's the problem? Like I don't get it. Fuck
Even
'em.
in the example you led with, you didn't do it first.
Listen.
Right? So in your example,
But don't why
So,
just
so
because
he's treating you the same way that you treat him, and that's
that
being
is
petty.
sassy.
Nah,
Okay, so
bro,
do
like,
that
So what I'm hearing here is when men decide to get in their feelings, not in a good way, in a bad way. When men get in their feelings in a negative way, when they act like, do you know what she just? Because I wanted her to admit it, because this is what it really is, and this is what I'm going to say to you. If you don't believe in gender roles, you calling me sassy is part of you believing in gender roles. Because you believe my gender, or at least my sex, whatever you want to call it, I don't really care. I'm not trying to distinction between the two. You believe there's a way that I should act. You believe. If you don't believe in gender roles, you're lying to yourself. Because you believe there's a way that I should act. That's why you're calling me sassy. I'm talking about for us in this conversation, by the way, not everyone, right? Because the reason why she's calling somebody sassy, he's doing the very same things that she's doing. And I think Doctor put a very good definition when a man is in competition with a woman, right? So what a woman does when a man begins to try to compete for the woman's position, but what is the woman's position? The sassy man versus the masculine woman. I actually agree with you, to be honest. I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. I'll be honest with you. I was a sassy little bitch. Sorry about language there. I was when I was younger. I'll be honest with you. Because if I really know what I know what sassy actually is, right? Sassy is in alignment with being I would call it being in alignment with being a feminine man, having far too much feminine energy. I would say that. I would say it. I think being sassy truly is really about you having, as a man, too much feminine energy. But in that reality, then you have to admit there are gender roles, and I have to play a certain role. Therefore, you have to play a certain role to be able to use that language of being sassy. Otherwise, stop using it. right? Because what you're really confirming is you know what my role is. You know what I should behave. You know my specifications of what I should behave as in my role as a man. You know. So if I'm not doing that, you're calling me sassy if I try to copy what you're doing, because you know what role I should be playing. Then you should know what role you're playing. So intuitively, you actually know what role you're supposed to be playing. You know what you're supposed to be doing. You get me? I get it. I get it. So when you get frustrated, that's when you call us sassy. That's when it comes out. You're calling us sassy. I'm not even mad at it. But you have expectations for how we should behave. That's why you're calling us sassy. Because you have an expectation of how a man should behave. And then I have to admit, I agree with you, then you also have to realize that when men hold women accountable, you have to play a certain role too. And I'm not talking about being in the kitchen, because that's irrelevant. We're not talking about those kind of those kind of parts of gender roles. But we're talking in terms of how we behave and do you know what I mean? Like the core components of it, right? You expect a man to be restrained in the way he deals with his emotions. Not to say they can't have emotions, but this goes back to what I was saying about how, as men, you have to be restrained in the power that you have. And that also includes in you even showing your emotions. I'm sorry, but you cannot show all your emotions all the time to women. They will destroy you. I'm just going to be real with you. They will cry all day and tell you that they want to see a sensitive man. They're chatting absolute doo-doo because you'll be labeled, say, sassy. Look, the reality is, as men, listen to me very carefully. You cannot show every time your weakness to women. You can't, because they will do you like Delilah did Samson. And number two, you cannot show your emotions all the single time because you will be done for. But that's a range of emotions. We're not talking about, you know what I mean? When I say emotions, I'm going to maybe make it very clear. You can't show that you're sad and down bad all the time because you come off looking either sassy, feminine, or weak. You understand? You get me? You get what I'm saying? Yeah? So you as a man do have a role, and there's a way you have to be. Okay? You have to learn how to control your emotions. Anger is an emotion, but so is sadness, so is happiness, so is joy, so is despair. You know what I mean? Disheveled, whatever you want to call it. There are so many different emotions out there. Anger and sadness are not the only emotions, man them. Okay? All right? So I know you might think that, but it's not the only emotions. So, as a man, you have to be controlled in the way you deal with your emotions. Women can be free to express themselves in their emotional state however they want, to a degree, because the gender role does not specify for them to be controlled in their emotions in some degree. There isn't a negative label placed upon their role, which I get, because it comes with the actual gender and the role and the specifications of that particular role, which makes sense. I'm not mad at it. It's the reality that we buy into these gender roles. All right. Prime example is Justin from Married at First Sight. Okay, yeah, I hear you. Yeah, I hear that. Justin from Married at First Sight. Yeah, I hear that. Yep, I hear that.
Sassy. Y'all don't think y'all... So have y'all ever had a moment of sassy nigga agenderness?
Listen. In my big age of 32, right? I'm all about reciprocation, right? So if I'm hitting a shorty up, and then one morning maybe I'm busy, I'll hit you up, and now I look and see that you don't hit me up, there's no reciprocation there, I'm not interested no more, basically.
No.
Wow.
So I'm move on. It got
I-
nothing to do about sass. It's about me not wasting my time because a lot of women is out here wasting men's time, and the problem is
And a lot
y'all
of
think it's
men.
okay to waste a man's time, and then when he's upset about it, now he becomes sassy. Now
Okay,
he
no.
becomes,
Actually, it's really this. It's like it's really in the conversations. Like I'm sure we've all seen like Twitter threads of like the outlandish stuff that men say to women these days, and it's very sassy and very like, damn, bitch, like what's wrong with you?
What,
like,
feed me? Go make daddy
no,
a plate. I've seen
no,
those
no,
shits.
no,
Like,
no, like
Not
not even
that.
stuff like that. Like just very like. I'm
You don't-
trying to think of specific
I'm like, you don't have no
examples.
examples. Like,
I'm
I
really
don't
trying to
know,
think about
man.
specific
Okay, what's a good
example?
example?
Why you gotta think of a social media example if you're experiencing this though? Like I'm yeah,
Because you never
y'all
know
speaking
who's
like this.
watching. You never know
I
who's
think- I
listening.
think
that's the thing.
Like,
You ain't gotta say no names.
but they're gonna know it's them. They're gonna be like, "Damn, you talking about me on the podcast?"
Alright.
Like, now
So,
you put my
well,
business
now
out
he know.
there.
Now he
Stop
know how you
acting
feel about
sassy.
him. Now you know how you feel about him. Tell him. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I think a lot of times women like to use, these homophobic words to like kind of emasculate men. Cause y'all be the first ones to call a nigga gay for hanging out with his homeboy. Y'all be the first ones to say. So now it's another word, sassy. You know what I mean? Y'all got that.
This is a very good
that's
point.
A homophobic like kind of slur.
It's a very good point. I have noticed that women, when they want to get at men, that's where they hit. You know what I mean? Those words do tend to come out, right? So there is an aspect to that. I definitely understand where they're coming from on that particular aspect. He's making a very good point there. That it becomes that low blow you want to hit men with. And there are several of those kind of slurs, that come into it, that come into those particular aspects. One, maybe because they know it hurts, or two, because you know what? The integration of gay men into normalized society, and then calling men the same words that you call gay men and calling the men those words as well. Could be part of that as well. You know what I mean? Nah, Queen E. No, where is me personally? I'm never gonna get vexed at that. Like, I'm not a big fan. If I didn't ask you, I'm not gonna be fussed about it. But for real, where is mine though? Well, nah, for real though, why are you not thinking? See, this is the kind of stuff that frustrates me about you ladies. Not all of you, some of you. Why are you not thinking about me? See, if you ask couples that have been together for a very long time, they think about each other, Why are you not bringing me some? I'm joking. I'm only playing with you, Queen. Like, he should, I don't know why, if you ordered it to your own house and he's not at your house, that makes no sense. That makes no sense. I was playing, Queen. I'm playing. If it comes to your house and he's not your house, that makes no sense. Why would you be saying, where's mine? That's ridiculous. And, well, don't be asking me either, because I'm not, if I've ordered my food, don't be asking me where's yours either if you haven't come to my house. That don't make no sense either. Nobody should be doing that. Do you understand? If I'm at my house and you're at your house and I've ordered some, don't dare open your mouth and say, where's mine? I'm at my house. I'm at my house. So why are you thinking I'm ordering for myself? You know what I mean? But if you're coming over, listen, if you've been around, listen, anybody who knows me, if you've been around me, you know how I am, right? If you're around me and I ask you, oh, do you want a drink, or do you want food, or da da da, and you say no, I'm gonna do it anyway, because I know I don't believe women. I don't believe you, women. Okay, all right, I don't believe you, women. I don't believe when you say no. I don't ever believe it. I remember one girl come around and I was like, do you want some socks? She was like, no. I was like, okay. Went upstairs and grabbed the socks. I was like, I'm not about to argue with you, but I'm gonna give you some socks. And then what happened? The socks were on her feet, because sometimes women be like trying to tell you no, and then when you don't do it, they're like, how can you didn't think of me? No, we thought about you. We took your first answer. He said he didn't want it. I said I didn't. You know what I mean? I've learned to ignore what you say. Okay, I've learned to ignore, because some of y'all just be telling us straight lies. Okay, y'all don't believe what you believe. Okay. You know. So yes, I don't believe what you say. I ask you, do you want a drink? No, I buy it for you anyway. I buy it for you anyway. Oh, do you want something to eat? I buy it for you anyway. You know what I mean? If it goes to waste, it goes to waste. But I'm not about to. There's no way you're gonna catch me out on an argument about I didn't think of you. It's not gonna happen. Okay? It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. You're gonna get this food.
Almost, like, you know what I'm saying?
I don't
Like,
even think it's to emasculate. I think it's to control. Like it's a
nah, but it's a part of masculine because
Yeah.
you want to humiliate
But
him.
it's
You
just-
want to compare him to feminine energy.
I feel what you're saying, but I think it's just at the end of the
Sassy.
day to control them. Like they're using it to like get them to do what they want them to do. Basically,
Women voice is their power. You get what I'm saying? You women are not physically stronger than men. They can't beat us up most time. Most women could probably beat us up. But look, but most times they use their voice to get under a nigga's skin. That's how they get reactions out of men. So them saying sassy rather than saying, oh, I don't like what you're doing, or communicating with better words or whatever the case may be, how you get a reaction
They
out
know
of
they're
it.
gonna react to that more. That's what I'm saying.
But
They use
like
that to
sometimes
control
men
them.
really do have an attitude problem. Like that's a real thing. Like
That's a human thing. Like, you know,
yes,
like,
yes.
women are the only ones allowed to have attitude. Like,
Right. But sometimes it's like they take it too far. It's like I get the whole we're in the whole matching energy, but like I don't think women are using the word sassy to emasculate men or anything like that. Like for me personally, like I'm not gonna call like the dude that I'm messing with or talking to gay because he wants to chill with his homeboys. Like I just don't do that personally. So if I'm saying like, oh, this is like you're being like, if I'm saying like, oh, he's being sassy, it's not to emasculate him, it's because he's being sassy. It's like it's really
but y'all use things like him having an attitude as sassy. Anything that y'all disagree with automatically becomes sassy.
There's a way to go about it. There's a way to go about it.
Yeah, and the only way y'all seem to respect it is when we fucking ignore y'all.
But y'all don't even have no legit examples. That's like, oh yeah,
I'm really trying to think
y'all
of
don't
one
have no
like-
legit examples.
I just heard that shit on Twitter. And I was like, oh yeah, it's sassy. And then it's just sassy.
I have personal.
When I suck that nigga dick, it's not that big of a deal. Like, it's like what?
That's
Like,
wild.
like,
Yeah, I don't know what y'all talking about.
Yeah, I think we're using very extreme examples instead of like the day to day.
Well, I asked you for an example.
Okay,
I asked you for
all right. Let me tap in real quick.
Tap in.
You don't have to
example
Jeopardy music in the back.
No D. I can't wait to edit.
I'm not trying to think of one
I'm
without
not-
being like
Right, exactly. That's the thing. It's like I'm not trying to put no one.
You not calling no
Talk about your
names,
homegirl
bro.
that told you about it. Yeah.
So I think she used a great example though. I think like
that is sassy. That was a good example.
that was a really good example.
What?
Like, all right,
With him not texting you?
We're not gonna like say him not text me. Like he texts me, but like, all right, so he didn't text me for a day, and then I didn't text for a day. So then I'm like, all right, then you're gonna text me back like, oh, so you don't see my text? Great answer, good talk, or something like. What? You're being sassy. Like, shut up. Like, you just did that. Relax. Like, it's
You
not that serious.
replied with disrespect.
I didn't even reply.
I mean,
It's still sitting there.
those words would have gotten you.
It's still sitting there.
It would have been sitting there.
so y'all never seen one of your homeboys being sassy?
We don't as
No, and I want to know for men that you guys feel that is sassy, what can they do to make you feel like they're not sassy? Like how should a man handle a
Communicate.
situation? We're communicating. You don't like that. That's sassy.
No.
It sounds very much like he's communicating with you.
That is not.
You can't text me back. That's communication right there.
I think
you the one that didn't communicate because you ain't text him for 2 days.
Yeah.
No. He didn't
It's
text
still
me.
sitting there.
It's still sitting there.
I tried to come on here and lie, baby. You just told us the text was sitting there, and you tried to tell no, he's the one that text. No, babe, you didn't text him either. You were ghosting him. He was ghosting you. So basically, what you're really saying is, I should be a better human being than you are. That's what you're really saying. I should be a better human being than you are. That's what you're really trying to tell us, right? Yeah. Okay. I hear you.
See, I think the sassy agenda is when the communication is clearly petty, is clearly like you're trying to get under my skin. Like you're trying
Okay. So what I'm hearing
It's
is
intentional.
it's okay for women to get under men's
No,
skin.
Yes.
it's
But
not
the minute
okay.
the man does it now, it's sassy.
It's not okay, but it's not okay, but
Maybe.
it's normal. Like it's normalized.
Yeah, maybe that's what it
Who
is.
normalized?
It's normalized for you to be petty, but it's not normalized for a man to be petty. Yeah. It's about maturity. I can't lie to you. Yeah, some of you need to mature. Yeah, because that ain't it. Like, babe, you're angry because he played the same game as you? Yeah, you need to mature. You need to mature. You need to mature. I'm not for that. I need you to mature, and I need you to mature fast, sis. Quick. I need you to mature and mature fast, sis, because that's that.
Why is that behavior? Like,
Hold on. What'd you say?
I said no. Maybe that is what it is.
I think
We can do it. And
I
you
expect
can't.
that for her.
Unfortunate double standard. I just said that.
She said that didn't get it too.
It
Yeah.
happens,
Yes.
man. Get into my next topic.
Yo, but fellas, get sassy with them.
Word.
Fuck it.
Don't accept this bullshit.
Get
Don't accept this bullshit. She'll touch you for a day.
Hey, shout out to Daily Wrap Up crew, man. They always be giving out great conversations as well. As well. There is something I want to bring to your attention, guys. So it's slightly away from the sassy, but it's still kind of sassy, I think. And this one is deserved a title, right? Because bruh, I had to. Oh, I hope I got the. Oh, I got it. I'm gonna have to go. Hold on. So I want to bring this to you. So I was watching Abba and Preach. Hold on. So I don't know if you guys remember, I did a video on Abba and Preach, and I was talking not Abba and Preach. I did a whole video on Donovan Sharp when he was supporting Kevin Samuels, and he did his whole video about it, right? So Abba and Preach just did a video on the whole situation with Donovan Sharp, and it's quite interesting. I won't lie to you, it's quite interesting, right? So just have a little watch.
I'm not trying to be mean-spirited, but you married a single mom. Like, post-wall women, they get married all the time, but the men they get married to are very low value. They're beta males. They're pushovers. They're not real men. They're not the men that arouse these women.
So credits where credits due. This man makes fun of other people's spouses and different things like that. Claims he would never date a single mom. Well, somebody pulled up his quote-unquote girlfriend's bankruptcy records, because those are public records that anyone has access to, and they found some interesting information. Let's see, listen. And I'll give credit to the people involved. I'll link the videos in below. So there you go.
So just to give you a bit of context of what's happening here. So basically Manosphere, Donovan Sharp, I don't know if you know, he was one of the people that was, talking about how, he was talking about how he loved Kevin Samuels, and when he passed it. Remember I did that video, guys? He's part of that Manosphere Red Pill situation, right? Basically, yeah. And bro, he has been exposed differently. So he says him and other people say a whole bunch of things about what kind of woman not to marry, what kind of woman not to interact with, don't go with single mothers. I was like, oh, okay. And then come to find out, bro, how are you doing everything you said nobody should do? I said, you damn hypocrite. Not only a damn hypocrite, it's because you can't get no other gal. You've been chatting absolute crud, but you can't get no other gal. You can't get no other gal. That's the truth of the matter. You can't even get the girl that you're talking about that you want to be getting. You ain't got it. You ain't got it. You ain't got it. Some of y'all ain't it.
Devin is one of just a few women I've dated, older women I've dated, who didn't have any kids when I met them. But again, they're the exceptions. Devin is my girlfriend. She is not my wife. We have never been married. She is not a single mother, and we have not adopted anybody. I got a 13-year-old.
So wait, hold on. He says Devin she's not been married. She's single. She's not a single mother. And then he has a niece that's been adopted, right? Okay. He hasn't adopted any children either. Okay, cool.
Niece that stays here at least twice a week, because Olivia, she's 14 years old now, and she's a beautiful girl. She could.
And so as we now look at her application on the screen and go to the section describing her household, it states, do you have dependents? Yes. Does dependent live with you? Yes. Dependent's age, 10 years old. Dependent's relationship to debtor 1. Daughter.
I want to make something clear here. I don't care.
So So basically, what's happened is, yeah, he's been out. Now, this is Sassy. This is the kind of guys you need to call in. These are the type of men you need to be calling Sassy. Not those of us who get angry and get annoyed and show you some sassy, show you some attitude. This is Sassy you need to be calling Sassy. So basically, what's happened is he's been preaching the whole entire time about how men shouldn't date single mothers and da-da-da-da-da-da. Meanwhile, he's out here bigging up his girlfriend, who isn't his wife, and talking about how, you know, she's this and that. And first and foremost, she's a single mother. Do you know why you're dating a single mother? Because you can't get no other gal. You can't get no other gal. Because you said this, you can't get no other gal. You haven't got the skills for it, sir. Okay? You can't get any other gal. That's the reality of it. You've been preaching to other men not to do it, but you went and did it because you can't get no other gal. That's the reality.
Care what kind of woman you choose to be your girl. Be with who you want to be. You want to date a single mom? I don't care. What I don't like and what I think is very laughable is you run a course, you have video clips making fun of other men for dating single moms and criticizing those women.
Now, keep in mind that this also contradicts everything Donovan Sharp has taught his audience about the types of women to avoid, going all the way back to his days when he wrote for Return of Kings, to his free ebook called 16 Ways to Immediately Disqualify Her for a Relationship.
Look at this. Look at his free ebook. Look what it says. Let me read what it says. It says, it's common knowledge amongst men with red pill awareness that single mothers make the worst girlfriends, wives, and mothers. Well, if they make the worst wives and mothers, why are you with them? Their selfishness, entitlement, and victim mentality makes it impossible to train bad behaviors out of them. What's worse is that anything you do good for them is viewed as maintaining status quo. Single mothers make bad decisions with men, money, and children, and everything else they control. They're always wading through a cesspool of chaotic sludge known as their everyday lives, which gives them an excuse not to look in the mirror, take stock, and hold themselves accountable for their shitty lives. Always on the lookout for a beta provider. Single mothers F anything and everything that pisses it standing up, hoping against all hope that one of them is stupid enough to stick around long enough for her to get the hooks in. Is that what you've been thinking? Because that's what you're choosing. That's what you're choosing, sir. Huh? How are you choosing the very thing that you said? Look at the degradation. Look at the obscenities. Huh? Look at the bravado and the nonsense you've written here. And then you have the audacity, the confidence, the absolute unmitigated gall to go and then actually go on and wife a single mother after telling us all this information. Madness on the ends. You didn't mean what you said.
Where he states that single mothers should be avoided as they make for the worst girlfriends, wives, and mothers.
I was a single mom. And yes, listen, I know single moms are bad and this and that and the other, but we all got to start somewhere. Don't commit to them. You've been married before.
I have.
Okay, you've been married before.
I got married young, and I was married for a very long time. You know, for the 20-something years before we met, you know, as an adult. You know, for the 20-something years before we met, you know, as an adult. You know, for the 20-something years before we met, you know, as an adult.
I met you when you were 32. You are an older woman. Devin, my girlfriend, is an older woman. Okay. Yes, my girlfriend is an older woman. She turned 36 back in February. I misled my audience about Devin's age, but I did that for privacy purposes. Just listen, Devin.
Nah, this nigga's sassy. Now this is sassy. Okay, y'all want to call something sassy? This is sassy. Okay, this is sassy. He's now out telling us that he lied because he wanted to protect the girl. What do you mean? You lied to tell us what do you mean? Yeah, someone needs to hold him accountable. Yeah, someone needs to hold his ass accountable. Because there's nothing you talk about privacy, but then you bring her on the screen. How's she gonna be private when you bring her on the screen to answer questions on your channel?
That's 45.
Meanwhile, every day you get online and you lie about the.
This is my girlfriend. She is not my wife. We have never been married. She is not a single mother, and we have not adopted anybody.
So you saying that during bankruptcy, she lied about the fact that this was her daughter? She lied to the government. Is that what you want us to believe?
Maybe
that she's committing. Don't look good for you, does it?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
There are older women out here, older single moms who are out here out competing younger childless women. So how would it listen? I'm not saying this would be easy, but it is possible. So what would be your advice to your friend?
Well, okay. So does she have full custody of this child, or does she have shared parental?
Let's say she has a 50-50. Let's
Then
say
if
1
she's
week on, 1 week
50-50,
off.
then she's not a single mom.
Oh,
She's co-parenting.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense because you're not a single parent
Right.
at that point.
No,
Okay.
you're definitely not. You're no more single than a single parent than if you were still married.
Do you see how he makes it work? You see how he makes it work? They've made up their own definition of single mom. If we share custody,
Out of here.
did you see what she did?
You did good.
I didn't do good.
No, I know.
There's
but
other
it's
people who did this.
I know.
research.
That's not you. That's not you.
Hey, listen, boo boo. I'm gonna just tell you this right now. It's not because your kid goes to his dad's place 2-3 times a week that you're not a single mom. This is not an insult. It just is what it is. You are a mother and you are single. That's what the definition is. You've only changed it. So stupid. This is so dumb.
And this,
like, they really tried.
he really tried, and I'm gonna explain to you because I haven't spoken about it, and I'm explaining to you what happened. What happened? Got him. It's not my wife.
No, she's a participating. In a
She's
bunch
because she is.
I have pictures with her. He has pictures with her. Like, she's on a lot of her bills. Unless you think Preach married a comedian, I don't know. But like,
That's my homie. That's you.
Well, Cassie would have the world believe that she's always been this doting, dutiful. Oh, you know what? No.
So in this clip, now he's talking about another man and his wife, who also happened to be a single mother before he got married to her. And now he's talking about this woman named Cassie, who's that single mother. I want you to hear what he says about her.
Cassie West has been ran through. Cassie West was a single mom when she married David West. Cassie West chased bad boys. She's a Karen that was ran through like everybody else was a single mom. And this explains why this explains why David West is as weak as he is. But yeah, David, listen, man, I'm not trying to be mean-spirited, but you married a single mom. Like, that doesn't make you a bad dude. And Cassie, you being a single mom when you married David, that doesn't make you a bad person either. Just understand that it's out there. And so you guys on this holier than thou, oh, we did it the right way. Cassie, let's not pretend that you didn't take the typical route that most modern women take. And David, let's not pretend that you're some apex alpha male. Like, come on. Like, we both know.
Throwing stones from glass houses.
That nigga sassy. Ooh. If you want to say sassy, this is sassy. Y'all be calling us sassy. This is the right kind of sassy you should be calling sassy. This is what you should be calling sassy. You want to sit on Beyonce's internet and call us sassy? This is the sassy you should be calling sassy. This is sassy. This is sasso, sassy, sasso. Sassy, sasso, sassay. That's what it is. Sasso, sassy, sassy. That's what it is. That's what it is around here. Okay?
You out here criticizing him, talking about he's not an alpha apex predator. What are you?
Stupid.
At least he is
3 years old. You're getting leftovers. Devin, let me get you into this conversation because I met you when you were 32.
Pause. He said married. Again, he's playing on words.
He's married.
He's married to her?
He's married. They're just lying about the records.
It's sad that you entrapped and you have to lie to so many people. That's fucking sad, my guy. Being hostage to that image that you have to lie about, you spewing like hate and lie.
That's how you talk about your girl.
Girls think it's cute and attractive to brag about their sexual escapades, but I waste zero time in 304 shaming them. I refer to Dev. Dude, when we first started dating, she used to brag about the dudes that she had smashed. Straight up. She used to brag about them. Dude, she used to brag all the time. Now, at first, I just told her, okay, stop. She didn't.
Hold up. Okay, let me just say something. I don't know what's wrong with your life, brother, and the women that you're with, but no woman comes to me to tell me about all the dudes they've been ran through by.
Oh my gosh. Bro, this is wild, bro. It's so wild. His girl was ragged, telling him, bro, this is not your girl. this is not your girl. My girl, the first time she meet you, when she's with you, she's trying to listen. I don't mind asking about people's past, innit? But if you're telling me about all the things you ran through, that's completely different. Ran through is different from, talking about past relationships. You just talking about all your escapades with the person that you actually want, that's completely different. That's different. This is the Mino Sassy, Sassy.
Did it one more time. One more time. She tested me.
Hey, listen.
One more time.
No, can we just appreciate again? This man established a boundary and said, "Don't do it." And the girl had so little respect for him. She's like, "Man, bro, you need to know about all the I've taken." He's like, "No, stop. No, you have to understand. I was with this fucking behemoth. Stop." That was it. He wanted to tell you how to be a leader. Can't even lead his own house.
Oh my days.
He got 5'2" white women disrespecting him to his face.
One more time. She tested me. I shamed her literally to tears. You better believe it. I called her every name in the book.
Why would you want to have a relationship with someone that you do that to?
That's your girl.
I'm not talking to him because that's sad. I'm talking to y'all people out there. Okay. If you have to resort into shaming someone, get the out the relationship. You do not want to be that person.
That's very true.
Number 4, to all you loser fans of Destiny. Is this really the guy you look to as something to aspire to? Would you want your life to look more like his or more like mine? Let's do a comparison. Well, listen, now he's smarter than I am. Number 1, he's probably got more money than I do, and his wife is much younger and much hotter than my girlfriend. I'll give him that. I'll concede all of that. Those are things about his life.
You know what's weird about this whole thing?
Why are you looking at people's wives, my guy?
Yo, hey, there is things you just don't need to say out loud, yeah? You don't need to be telling someone else that their wife is better looking than your actual wife. Oh, man. This is as bad as those people that write the IG post saying about, my man is not the most handsome guy, but you know what? He does X, Y, and Z for me. Yeah, you're in the same bracket as them. You're in the same bracket as them. Yeah. You're in the same bracket as them. Woo, boy. You madder than a hatter. You madder than a hatter, boy. You madder than a hatter. God damn. Woo.
And why you out here? Like, if this is your girl, why are you constantly out here?
Guys, gentlemen, Devin has a high body count. You think I don't know that my own girlfriend has had sex with a lot of men? You think that I think I found some special snowflake who declined partying through her 20s, even though she has a great body? Give me a break, guys. I am well aware that Devin's notch count is a lot higher than she will ever admit. I am 237% certain that I am not the biggest ever that Devin's ever taken. And the way I f is not the best she's ever had. She's had bigger and better than me. She hasn't told me this, but I know. I'm almost positive Devin's had bigger, better than mine. But
yo, hey, this is wild blood. Hey, this is wild blood. Blood got me left on my seat, cuz. Yo. Y'all wanted to know what Sassy is? Let me show you what Sassy. This is Sassy. God damn. How you gonna admit that the girl had bigger and better than you? Yo, I would absolutely fly off the handle. Whoo, baby.
if I ever found out what one of these guys looked like, if I ever found out that one of those guys had a 12-inch, you better believe I'm going to be insecure. You kidding me? I don't have a 12-inch dick. Devin's had bigger dicks than her. Now I got to see what that looks like. Of course it makes us insecure. That's another reason why men of value don't commit to women with high body counts.
He says men of high value don't commit to women with high body counts, and yet
you committed to.
And yet
you hear.
It's because we know the more that have been in you, the more huge that have been in you. It's just mathematical. If you've been with 5 guys, okay, all right, we can deal with that. If you've been with 555, dude, you've probably
now I can't have burgers no more.
Hey man, this man's really thought about this shit. You can tell like this is a deep insecurity. I'll be honest with you, I don't worry about stuff like that. One, because I'm packing, but 2, mostly because like when I'm with a girl, I ain't worried about what the last dude did. I'm not worried about the guy before. Like, who cares? When she going with me, we gonna do our own thing together. That's it. I don't need to know the whole history.
That's sad.
The only reason you deeply think about this is because you got a big insecurity on the inside and you don't got the skills to actually lay it down. Because if you do a good job, a girl gonna be satisfied.
Exactly.
If a girl gives you her heart, she loves you, and you take care of her needs, you don't gotta be worried about the previous man. The only reason you dealing with this is because you ain't got it like that. And so it's always a deep insecurity inside of you.
Your affiant learned from the Plant City Police Department that on September 8th, 2003, Edwin Hopkins Jr. had used his father's social security number to rent an apartment in Pinellas County, Florida. Your affiant went to the apartment complex and obtained a copy of Edwin Hopkins Jr.'s rental application, which includes Edwin Hopkins Jr.'s signature and Edwin Hopkins Sr.'s social security number. Your affiant learned that Edwin Hopkins Jr. had defaulted on his rental payments in the amount of $8,000.08. On June 16, 2004, your affiant spoke with Edwin Hopkins Sr., who advised that the outstanding balance showed up on his credit report. Edwin Hopkins Sr. does wish to prosecute his...
The spineless beta male he is, does not have the heart to step to his own son and say, hey, look, son, I disagree with you.
This man defrauded his own father. He used his social insurance and his stuff to get an apartment, defaulted on the apartment. The debt went to the dad, and it went on his social bureau. The dad pressed charges, and they went after him in court. He's also faked bank checks. He's done a bunch of other different forms of fraud. And so what you recognize...
That's what he does.
There's a history.
Yeah.
So people say, he could never fraud. It's like, well, his criminal record says otherwise. You know what I'm saying?
That's what he does.
That's a history. But again, a lot of these dudes in the manosphere, they lie about their accomplishments. They lie about their resume. And it makes sense because you're trying to make money. Embellishing a lot of these things is how you're able to garner the audience because you're like, I live this life. Therefore, you want to follow me. But once you peer behind the curtain, you recognize that these are just scammers. That's all it be it Derek.
Ooh, Chile. Listen. Bro, I just had to, I couldn't even give you commentary. I just had to look at it and laugh at it. I was like, man, this is mad. It's crazy, bro. This is mad. It's nuts. Whew. That's crazy. Yeah, I'm not about it. Yeah, they gathered him up nicely, man. Whoo, baby. I got one more video. I got one more video to show you guys. I got one more video. Okay? Because this is we're talking about Sassy. You know, I thought, let me bring him all the way in. Let's bring him all the way in. You know, let's bring him all the way in. Talking about those hyenas. I'll never forget that when they said hyenas. Let me get to my history. Look at this, guys. This is gonna blow your mind,
I went
bro.
to the jewelry store. I bought her a ring, proposed to her. I proposed to her. Listen, I'm telling you. Listen. Its story is it's absolutely crazy. To make a very long story very short, I started paralegal school.
Listen, we all have a simp story. My simp story, you already guys know my simp story. I've told you mine. It's hilarious. You're going to laugh at me, right? But what you do after is quintessential. This is a pattern of behavior that he's been doing and still hasn't stopped, even at his big boy age. Even at his big boy age, he still hasn't stopped. Listen to the story.
School when I was 31 years old, and there's this
How old was he? 31 years old. This is a story. Listen to what he's telling you about his 31-year-old story. Listen to what he's saying. Listen to what he's saying.
Hot 19-year-old in my class. We took a shine to each other immediately, right? It was a story.
Wait, hold
very
on.
Short. I started paralegal school when I was 31 years old, and there's this hot 19-year-old in my class. We took a shine to each other immediately, right? It was a great relationship. We spent every day together, blah, 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 blah. Red flag number one that I didn't even think about. One day, I had a headache in class because I suffer from migraines, and she recognized that. She says, "What's wrong?" I said, "Well, I've got a headache." She's like, "All right." Reaches into her purse, and she gives me this big white pill. I'm like, "What is that?" She says, "It's Vicodin." And I was like, "All right." So I took the Vicodin. Headache is gone. What's a 19-year-old doing with a bag full of Vicodin, right?
She's a drug dealer, right?
No problem at all. Red flag number two. She had homemade. She had homemade tattoo on her wrist, right? Told me she got it when she was. Told me she got it when she was 15. Hold on. Red flag number three. Stay with me. Red flag number three. She had a 6-year-old. She was 19.
This story is just wild out the gate. 31-19. Listen, it's not legal. 31-19. I ain't gonna be mad at it. Do you know what I mean? But sir,
18 years old who had a 6-year-old, which means what class? She had her child at 13, which means she was having at 12. It gets even better. The baby daddy was in prison at the time we were dating.
Oh,
statutory EPAR. Here's the reason why they didn't throw the book at him with Jessica's Law. It's because she testified to the jury that she seduced him, and the jury actually bought it. The jury actually bought it. So let's set the scene. August. So my birthday, I open up Facebook to get all the birthday love. She left her account open on my computer on Facebook. I scrolled through, saw all kinds of stuff, drove to her place. I said, "I want you to be honest with me. Have you cheated on me?" I wanted her to lie to me. And I wanted her to lie to me so I could just keep up the delusion. She said, "Honestly, yes." That is the worst emotional pain I've ever felt in my life. To this day, I never will. Dude, I went to her bathroom. I puked, ripped off the necklace. She's blowing me up at work all day long. I'm sorry. I can't pick up the phone. So finally, I picked up the phone. She's like, "Hey, I'm sorry. I want to spend the rest of my life with you. Da, 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 da." She's like, "Look, I want to come to your place. I have a birthday surprise for you." So she comes over. She has like this little cupcake, and she bought me a watch that she knew I was looking at. Then she turns around, lifts up her shirt. There was my name tattooed on the small of her back. Dude, my hand to the man. So I was back in her clutches. It was all downhill from there. Guys, this story gets so much worse.
How old were you?
I was 31. I was 31 years old. Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say 17.
Oh, no.
yo, do you know how mad it? See, when I say about man a simp, yeah, the real simp is you. How at 31 are you still doing this madness? Then you get to what, 40, whatever you are. Huh? Are you a big boy? And now you've even married someone who's a single mother who said you shouldn't marry, and yet this is what you're doing? Man said that she had a tattoo on her body as well at that point. Yeah.
So she continued cheating on me, right? So I'm always trying to catch her. I lost my job. I lost the place that I was at. The car that I had was paid for because I paid cash for it. It broke down. I didn't have a job, so I couldn't get it fixed. I'm evicted. I ended up having to live with a couple of her drug addict friends in a quasi crack house. Both people were on felony probation.
What?
You can't make this up. Both people, the guy and the girl, were on probation for felony possession. They were on felony probation, ankle bracelets, the whole nine. And so I
I just don't get how you can come on my I just can't get how you can come on my internet and start preaching about women. I don't get it. I don't get how you can come onto my internet and start preaching anything about what you talk about women when you're doing this at 31. When you're doing this at 31. Your what's it? Amygdala or whatever it's called. What do they call this? Amygdala has fully developed. You're past 25, you're 31, and you're still doing this stuff. And you're still doing this stuff.
Lived there, and so I had to live there, right? And so finally, and I kept trying to get back with her. September 16th, baby daddy gets out of prison. Okay, baby daddy gets out of prison. I called her up on September 15th. I said, you know what? I can't do it. I think you still love Ben. I can't do it anymore. Dude, she cried her eyes out. Hung up the phone. I stayed up all night long. I couldn't sleep. So I called her up. I called her up the next day. I was like, hey, meet me at this gas station. Then I called up my brother and I borrowed $800. He gave me $800. I went to the jewelry store. I bought her a ring, proposed to her. I proposed. Listen, I'm telling you. Listen, it gets worse. It gets worse. I swear to God. People wonder why I speak with such conviction about these things. Dude. Look. It gets
what No. Yeah. Listen, I know he ain't lying. I'm telling you. I know he ain't lying. You just know he's the type of guy that would do something stupid like this, bro. Because the kind of woman he's with now, and after preaching against them, people who are the hardest, who hate the most, usually end up doing this kind of stuff. People that literally hate the most, that you see them hating the most, they usually do this stuff. Whew, baby.
Worse. It gets worse. So she says yes, right? So now, all of her friends are like, oh, she's getting engaged. Well, eventually she started fucking the baby daddy behind my back.
Of course.
So we were in this love triangle. Anytime she was pissed off at me, she'd go and fuck him. Anytime she was pissed off at him, she would come and fuck me. So finally on Thanksgiving, I had to call my brother. My family was in this was in North Carolina. My brother comes out into this quasi crack house, and he's kind of looking around, and they're all looking up at him like, that's your brother? And of course we look alike. And so I'll never forget, man. I'm telling my brother about the situation. He's like, my real name's Alex. He says, Alex, what are you doing? And I said to him, dude, you don't choose who you love. I still loved her. So he drives me back after Thanksgiving dinner. This girl calls me up and tells me that she was now engaged to be married to Ben, right? I'm crushed. I'm heartbroken. I'm crestfallen. I'm doing pills. I'm doing drugs.
From the time that you recognize the tattoo and she had a 6-year-old to this time, how long has time progressed?
I met her the first day of the second semester, so right in January. So this happened between January. This happened in one calendar year. So I'm telling you, you can't make this stuff up. So now I've lost her. I've lost her forever. So now I'm doing drugs and all this other kind of stuff. During the time I was living at that quasi crack house, they were telling me, yeah, she this guy, that guy. During the summer, she lost an exorbitant. She was already a small girl.
Yeah.
She lost an exorbitant amount of weight. I found out that she was shooting heroin all summer long. I had no idea. She kept, dude, it was unbelievable. So anyway, so New Year's Day comes around. So
Yo, this is mad. Brother, like, what? I cannot. Bro, this story is too wild for me, bro. We're only halfway through. No, we're actually halfway through. I need you to understand that we're halfway through. We still have 6 minutes left.
New Year's Day comes around. Oh, wait a minute. Let me back up. December 10th, the guy, so it's a boyfriend and girlfriend in the crack house. The guy, I was at the library. The listen, the probation officer arrested the guy. So then he's in jail for probation violation. So it's just me and his girlfriend. I had no interest in her. It was not like that at all. Well, he was feeling some type of way about the fact that I was staying there. So he called his landlord and told him that I was staying there without their permission. New Year's Day, little Jamaican man comes to the door. He points to me. He's like, you don't live here. And if you're not out of here by 9 o'clock the next morning, the sheriff will come and put you out. Called my brother again. I was like, dude, I'm going to be homeless. So he bought me a bus ticket to Atlanta, and I go down to Atlanta where my mother and brother were living, and kind of started over then. So I lived in Atlanta for 6 months, decided to move to Vegas. It was that's a whole big, long story. A couple of months into living in Vegas, I get a phone call from a mutual friend of ours, me and the girls, right? And she's like, you are never going to believe this. I was like, well, what happened? She said, Ben is dead. I was like, this is her husband now, right? The baby daddy. They got married. She says, Ben is dead. Here's what happened.
Yo, this is like a Mills and Boons sympology. You know what I mean? It's like a Mills and Boone sympology. It's crazy. You know what I mean? It's crazy. What? Are we seriously having this? Bro!
2 weeks after she married this guy, she started having an affair, right? She started cheating on him.
She's a lovely lady.
Dude. So the story goes is that he gave her $20 to go out and get Chinese food. She took her daughter with her, goes to the guy's house, calls him up and says, hey, I'm leaving you, and I'm gonna be here with this guy with the daughter. Of course, he loses his mind. He drives out to the trailer. He starts kicking in the door. The guy on the other side of the door says, if you kick down this door, I am going to shoot you. He kicked down the door and caught a shotgun slug to the chest, done and killed immediately. It gets even worse. They had to put an ankle bracelet on her because they suspect that she might be the shooter, right? Let's back up one more time. And again, this is all relevant. This is when I still had my car. I'm driving to her place from work. I get to her place, and there are 3 cop cars in the driveway. I'm thinking it's because of something that happened next door, because the dude is always beating on his girl, right? That's the kind of place this was. The cops were at her place. She got arrested for possession. The people I was staying with had called the cops and ratted her out. So now she's in jail, right? And of course, I have to save my fair maiden. I called up an old roommate and borrowed $1,350 to bail her out. She gets out. I love you. Then goes right back to Ben. So now we.
Because what is going on, Kez? All I can do is breathe heavy. Listen, the way he's telling the story so smoothly, I don't know if he's lying. We all have a simp story. You know my story. No, he said he went back before he had a car. So at that point, Ben was alive. So when he said he went back, that's why. Hey.
Fast forward.
You said Ben was dead.
I backed up.
He backed up.
He backed up. Yeah, he backed up. Yeah.
This was before.
Oh, okay.
So you bailed out.
Yep.
The young lady who had left you.
Yep.
To go back, and when you borrowed the money.
It was back and forth.
You borrowed the money, so you had to pay back this money to someone else who has nothing to do with the situation. and then she went back straight while she had the tattoo of you on her.
Yep.
Okay, keep going.
Listen, if Hosea told his story, I don't think we'd all believe him either. If Hosea in the Bible told his story, I don't think we'd believe him either. But you know what? It's in the Bible. Okay? He's in the Bible. Some people were doing the wildest things. You know what I mean? Some do it for Jesus. Some do it because they love like Jesus. Yeah. Yeah.
I got like 15 questions to ask you when this is.
I'm almost done. I'm almost done. So now we fast forward. So Ben is now dead. I don't know how they got away with it, but he's not like the guy's not in jail. She ends up marrying the guy that killed Ben and had another daughter. So in the end,
this was the original baby dad.
The original baby daddy is dead. The original baby daddy.
Ben was the original baby.
Ben was
this story is wild. Okay. Yeah, this is a lot. I can't lie to you. But you know what? If Hosea could do something like this, I have to believe him. Let him hold this symbology title. Let him hold a symbology title. Let him hold it.
Okay.
But the lovely lady went to the guy who killed Ben.
And now, okay.
So she ended up marrying the guy who killed her first husband, had another daughter with him. So the father of her first child was killed by the father of her second child. You cannot make this up. And so this is why people always wonder why I'm so passionate and I'm so sure. I have seen the worst. I've been in the worst of the worst situations. It is the worst situation I have ever been in. But to this day, I can freely admit that I have never loved anyone or anything as much as I loved her. And that is my story.
I need this girl to give some girl game. She's getting rings left and right.
You have viscous innards made of plutonium.
It certainly felt like it. It certainly felt like it. The girl, like,
I just want to know.
She was 19. She was 19. She was hot. Had a southern twang. I mean, it was all
we
there.
can hate, but she's gotten more proposals than I have.
Proposals from guys who were clearly either simping or who had gone to jail for having relations with her at 12 years old.
Look.
Questions.
Would Donovan have been Donovan if Donovan was exposed to Donovan's work today at 31 years old?
Yeah, I would not have made that mistake. I would not have made that mistake with her. And you know what's interesting? A lot of times I think, actually, you know what? No, I think I still would have gone down that road because
his reactions are the
here's the thing. Here's the thing. As men, we are hard-headed. Most lessons that men encounter, you can't teach. Some lessons can't be taught. Some lessons you got to learn. That was a lesson. Dude, everybody could have told me, stay away from her, stay away from her. I was in love, man. Like, dude, she was nice. Dude, she's the hottest girl at school. She's showing me off. I mean, I was in love. I had to, and I am so fortunate to have made it out of that armpit of a county in rural North Carolina. It is literally the lowest I have ever been in my life. And to be able to sit here with all of my accomplishments, despite having gone through that, that's a miracle. It's a fucking miracle.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Damn. That's kind of peak, Smiley. Whoo. Jesus. That was painful. Damn. How you gonna go through all that? How? I just need to know. How did you go through all of that? And then come and sit on Beyonce's internet and tell us about how we should be. How How do you have the audacity, the confidence? He's even live right now. Let's see what he's doing right now on his live. Let's see what he's doing. He's even live right now, guys. Let's see what he's doing. Let's see what he's doing on his live. He's live right now. Let me see what he's doing. Let's see what he's talking about.
What's going on? I don't think there was any need to apologize. Yeah, Jesse Fuller says Michaela Pink is in prison for fraud. Yeah. She's I think she stole like $15,000 from somebody to get a boob job or something like that.
A high class lifestyle, meaning you've
Oh,
done
he's
the
reviewing
low class
something.
lifestyle.
Not low,
You've done the
but
middle.
I thought he was
you've done
doing
the
something
middle class
spectacular, but
thing.
he's not.
You're like, listen, I ain't settling for
She
no BS. I
ain't
only
doing
want the best.
Of being absolutely free, I will take a picture of myself every day for the next 120 days, and on day 121, I will reveal the time lapse of my transformation. Go to my affiliate link in the description and get 15% off when you. She is the reason why we are doing this breakdown. This aired yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, on the Saucecast. So Adam had he had Allie, he had Sterling Cooper.
Yeah, this nigga can't be on my internet. I'm sorry. Yeah, I can't do it. You know what, guys? Let me get off this thing, man. I've got work to do. Yeah, I got stuff to do. Let me take a break because that's madness. Woo, we've had a good laugh though, guys, haven't we? We had a good time, didn't we? We enjoyed ourselves. Basically, beware, guys and ladies and gentlemen. Beware. Be very careful who you are. You know who you're following, because clearly these goons have no respect. And some of these goons have no respect for themselves, because that was madness, what I heard. I'm sorry, that was absolute madness. What? How you going to tell the story like that and then come on Beyonce's internet to come and tell men how to behave with women when not only that, you actually insult women? It's the audacity. And then to have the woman that you do have be of the very consortium that you said that we shouldn't follow. It's too much for me. It's too much for me. I can't do that. That's too much for me. What? Oh wait, hold on. Someone says about Sassy. Let me just see. Sorry, guys. Oh, hold on. We got one more video, guys. Hold on. Guys, got one more video. Hold on.
What? Who the fuck are you talking to? You know what the crazy part? Sassy man apocalypse. Bro, I cannot make this shit up. It's a sassy man apocalypse. I'm out last night, and this man comes up to me, and he trying to talk to me, and he goes, buy me a drink, and I'll buy you a drink. What? Who the fuck are you talking to? You know what the crazy part about this is? If that guy would have been a man that she found highly attractive, or if she thought he was a high value male, that would have worked for her, and we would have never heard this story. Men that are assholes, that are attractive, or at least in the eyes of the woman, they always have their way.
Imagine if dudes act like we was the only girl in the world to them. Like we be acting like they the only man in the world. I would be looking at you too like, get a grip. You some hoes. Yeah, why is it just me? You know what that tells me? If I was a dude and my female was like, yeah, it's just you. It's you're ugly? I don't got no competition.
I think that she's got a good point, because a lot of men that I know who be out here running the streets and stuff like that, it seems like they always got their girl's attention. And the ones that are always underneath their women are going through the most issues with their woman, man.
If you know I'm cheating, why would you go through my phone? Like, is you fucking slow?
If you suspecting her of cheating, man, you might as well go on about your way, bro. Don't even go through the phone. If you really think she's cheating, leave her.
My friend accidentally sent a clip of her cheating to her BF.
I'm in it. Stop stealing my rent.
DJ, you in a video?
Come on.
Imagine the poor unlucky soul who just got that text message of his girl cheating on him, man. He's going right now. But here's the thing. She's already contemplating and thinking about how she can get out of this. But she can't get out of it because your friend didn't put you on blast. Now he knows that you really were cheating. So whatever story you came up with, it ain't gonna work, la mama.
There's just one man I dated who I will respect for the rest of my life because after we broke up, he never ever reached out again. This is like over 2 years ago. I have no idea where he is or what he's doing, and I love him.
The fact that she's obsessing over this man that she hasn't seen in 2 years lets me know that he left her and she didn't leave him. They might not have even been in a real relationship, man. He might have just seen her as a friend with benefits. She wanted it to be more, but instead of her making herself look crazy, she said it was her ex.
And I feel like you got better luck moving mountains than trying to tell me what I can and can't wear, babe. Because you telling me I can't wear something is only going to make me want to wear panties out the house. What the?
Say, bro, you got to get you a woman that's going to be on your program. If she wants to walk out the house and look like a streetwalker, that's on her. You don't have to be with her. You can find some woman who respects herself and don't want to have her ass.
Is this what's on the internet?
Out for the world to see.
All the girls that are being 20 right now and absolute in the club, whatever not, in 10 years, they're going to be 30, trying to settle down and realize that all the good guys are taken. They're going to complain that they were ran through their whole life, but while they were partying for the past 10 years, all the good girls got cuffed by the good guys. And so now when they look at all the men that are options, they're going to be competing with the now 20-year-old good girls and be stuck. Why? Because all the good guys are gone. You missed your chance being a whore, bitch.
Yeah, man, we looking at a lot of women like that right now. They post wall in their 30s, early 40s, and they don't have a man. They partied all in their early 20s. They didn't take any guy serious who was a good man. They always wanted the Chaz and the Tyrone. Now they're trying to compete with the younger women. They want to be the young girls' friends instead of raising their daughter. They want to be their daughter's best friend.
All the girls that are being 20.
Fuck you and your mammy. Now what y'all gonna do? Fuck you and your mammy, ho. Fuck you and your mammy. You know people. Oh, okay. Shut the fuck up, so old ugly.
These are the women that are raising the next generation. No wonder
You in the picture. Excuse me. Maybe I'll take a picture of you. Please don't panic. You don't have to panic. I promise you, this shit is for my ass only. Just as much you don't want to be seen, I don't want to show nobody you, bitch. Like, don't.
These women are just like men today, right? There used to be a time where a woman would cheat on a man and she would give the man the rules. She would let him know everything that's going on. These women are behaving like men.
I need to rewind.
Get together and I just so happen to like pull out my phone, take a picture or something like that. Maybe you in the picture. Excuse me. Maybe I'll take a picture of you. Please don't panic. You don't have to panic. I promise you, this shit is for my ass only. Just as much you don't want to be seen, I don't want to show nobody you, bitch. Like, don't.
These women are just like men today, right? There used to be a time where a woman would cheat on a man and she would give the man.
Show me something if I couldn't have it then. The fuck would you bring this out?
Excited to share.
The subtitle wasn't on this one, but basically she got in the bed with no drawers on and
she was just like, nah, you got to step it up for me. You got to apply pressure. I know your last man. He was driving your car. I put 2 and 2 together. I don't got to apply nothing.
This is a classic example of a woman making you overpay for something that she gave away for free numerous times. Talking about applying pressure. No, don't fall for it.
Women in their 30s, these young boys be on it. Yeah, these young men rather. Because I don't know why I keep attracting 24-year-olds to be exact. 24, not 23, not 25, not 27, 24. And in my head, I'm thinking like, do y'all know how old I am? You're as young as my little brother, ill, and I watched him grow up. I damn near raised him. And then it's like, what do we have in common? What am I gonna chaperone you? And they be spending the most game because they know my age. I tell them my age, I be like, yo, I'm in my 30s. And they're like, oh, let me get that under my belt. Nah, we're not doing that. You're too young for me if your bones don't crack when you get up. You're too young for me if it doesn't take at least 24 hours for you to recover from drinking 3 glasses of wine the night before. You're too young for me if when you lay down and get up and your back starts hurting for no reason. Like, I need you to be well seasoned, and you're not.
Now, I will say this: she's a very attractive older woman. And I guess, well, she's not even older, she's in her 30s, but them young guys look at you and they say, I know these older women are starting to get desperate, let me see what I can do. It's no different than when them younger women be going after them 70, 80-year-old men. They know it's an easy mark.
Here are 5 ways to make sure your man never cheats on you. First of all, stop wearing bonnets, okay? That shit is so unnecessary. I don't know why women do it. Sleep with your hair looking beautiful and gorgeous. Second,
I ain't gonna lie to you. I've got no problem with a bonnet. Just want to be honest with you. I got no problem with a bonnet. So if you want to sleep in your bonnet, sleep in your bonnet. I think it's quite cute. Can't lie to you. Just don't be going to bed with makeup on. Okay? All right? Just saying.
don't deny him the cookie, okay? Even if you're tired and it's been a long day at work and you're taking care of the kids, you need to give up the cookie at all times, even if you're tired. Thirdly, you're gonna have to stop drinking, okay?
You know what? I ain't gonna lie to you. Okay? I ain't gonna lie to you. Listen, I ain't gonna lie to you. The second point is kind of tricky, and I'll tell you why. Because I've started getting tired, and I ain't gonna lie to you. I've seen how when you're tired, you just don't want to be. You don't want to. I don't want to be putting work in. So do you know what? I've understood. When you say you're tired, let's choose a better time. Because when you tired, you're gonna give me poor performance. If I'm tired, I'm gonna give you poor performance. Nobody should be giving everybody poor knucker. You know what I'm saying? Nobody should be giving anybody poor knucker. You deserve better. You know what I'm saying? You deserve better. So I shouldn't be giving you poor knucker, and you shouldn't be giving me poor knucker. You understand? Yeah. We don't want poor passoir. You understand? Yeah. We don't want poor passoir. All right. So nobody wants that. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay? Men don't like women who drink, and women who drink get cheated on the most, to be honest. So stop drinking.
I know she's chatting doo-doo now. I know she's got a plan up. By the time she gets to the 5th one, she got a plan, I can tell.
No more mimosas, no more Sunday nights out with the girls, just none of it. Number 4, when you get paid, give him the paycheck. Let a man be a man, okay? Let him lead. You can't be the alpha female. And lastly, stop asking him where he is, okay? Men don't like being asked where they are. Give him some space, give him time to just do what he needs to do, okay? No one wants to be asked, where are you 5,000 times, okay? He said he's coming, so he's coming. Oh, and number 6 is a bonus. You're gonna need a big red wig. You're gonna need it.
If you paid attention to the very end of the video, basically she's saying if you do any of this, you are a clown as a woman. These women do not care about y'all, man.
He is fine, y'all. Perfectly fine. Please don't call Paw Patrol.
Ladies won't admit it, but they get bored as fuck when a man loves them too much.
I don't know what it is, but immature women love chaos. If you do not give those women chaos, they will not like you.
They really don't like peace. They are immature. They're going to always start fights with you. They're always going to make your move go up and down. It's going to be an emotional roller coaster the whole time because this is how they get their rocks off, man. But don't fall for it.
Eating that.
Why? You a vegetarian?
No, I'm not a vegetarian. But I'm not eating a sandwich.
The title of this video was when she wants you to go down there after y'all took y'all little break. That's a no-go, guys. You know she just got piped down and now she's ready to come back to you.
Excuse me, ma'am. Your beauty is like candy because you got it now and later. Can I have your number? Okay, ma'am. You see that wall right there? I'm gonna need you to go on and face it and put your hands behind your back, please.
Guys, this is just another case of when a woman doesn't like your approach because of who you are, because any approach can work for the right guy. She found it funny. It was hilarious. Had it been her type, he would have got that number. And a lot of police women, a lot of them love street dudes. And the guys that they be locking up is the ones that they find attractive.
Bro, I can't.
Oh, no, listen, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, yo, these are stuff that's on the internet. I ain't gonna lie to you. This is stuff that's on the internet, you know what I mean? Like, yo. I don't know. Listen, I just, sometimes I just be finding stuff and just want to have a laugh. Do you know what I mean? I think we're done now. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think we're done now. I'll leave it alone. Whew. That was interesting. All right. Well, guys, I'm going to jump off now. I was just, I think it's time, get myself ready for later on tonight. Appreciate it, guys. Stay locked, stay loaded. We'll see you again very, very soon. We'll see you again.